give up now, because there's still a long way ahead that you'll be creating content and you don't see views. I'm not rich, I'm just irresponsible. The first job I ever had in tech was immediately no. I know you've mentioned you saved in dollars, please, how do you do it? I actually think it's dumb. The algorithm will shock you. That's where I got the best deal for my flight to Lebanon. Where can one travel to on a budget with no travel history? How did you find your footing financially? The footing is yet to be found. See, darling, I can't see it. I want to know how you met Tunde. Interesting. Skip. How did you and your partner skip? This is so nosy, but how did you and Tunde? Oh, so you know it's nosy. Apart from money, what's the first thing you consider? That money you just apport. How many sources of income do you have and what are they? I might have to check my Norway dashboard. Sources of income. So let's start. First thing is welcome to my channel, or welcome back if it's not your first time. Thank you for stopping by. My name is helloalmaasinobi, and in this video I'm going to be sharing answers to my first Q&A session that I put up on Instagram. So a number of you asked me travel questions, career questions like this and this, and some other people asked me some really well, some personal questions, not really personal, but personal questions like this and this. And in this video I'm going to attempt to answer all of these questions. If you're interested, then stick around and let's get right into it. First question: when will you visit Kenya coast? I would love to meet you and explore. Long story, I'm currently in Nigeria, so when next I'm in Kenya, I would definitely be visiting the coast. Mombasa, Lamu, these are two places that are on my list. How's Kenya been? Hope you've been having a good time. I left Kenya for, long story, but I left Kenya. I'm currently in Nigeria right now, and to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to go back anytime soon. And if I do go back, it would not be to live there, and I would share everything about why I took this decision in another video. What advice would you give to someone starting out in their goal to live off their social media? Okay, so this is a really good question. If you want to live off your social media, don't go all in just yet. Test the waters with one foot, see how it works. Use this time while you're not living off of your social media to figure out what your audience likes, figure out what works, how the algorithm works on different platforms, different channels, what kind of content do you want to share, blah, 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 blah. You know, just sort things out and get a little bit of clarity. Don't wait till you have it all figured out though, before you go right into it. Next question, how did you start a travel budget and how can one start one in this economy? I beg. Okay, so I would preface this by saying that I travel a lot, and a lot of people think that because I travel a lot I'm rich. I'm not rich, I'm just irresponsible. Like, it's not like, oh, I decided one day that, oh, I'm going to start saving towards travel, I'm going to save and put money aside. I got my salary one time. I was like, oh hey, I had been nursing the idea to go to Senegal, and I booked a flight. Long story, I didn't start off building like a travel budget. I would recommend that you do that if you're a more like very safe person, but I live life on the edge. So when I have these questions like this, I just like, I don't know how to answer them. But if you want to start a travel budget, definitely take out a percentage of your income every month and put it aside, because right now in this economy, like you said, you save for the rainy day, save for rainy day, every day is raining. So how are you going to okay, so please don't mind me, but then make sure that you take out a part of your income every month, every week, whenever you get spare income, you know, anything that's just coming in, put it aside for travel. If you're like me and you know you live life on the edge and you'd like to stop yourself from doing that, put it in locked savings. So any of the apps that you use that you can't access, or put it in dollars, better still, because it's better to travel, save and travel. Save and spend on your travels in dollars. Whew, okay, I'm talking fast, we calm down. Sorry, my voice sounds a little coarse. I have been down with the cold. I'm just doing this like, you know, and I'm standing because I want to, you know, just get some movement in. So what really helps your growth in your career space? This is actually a really good question. So two things. One is networking. The first job I ever had in tech was because firstly I had put in the work and everything, but at the time when I needed it the most, I had a contact that I could call and say, oh hey, do you know anybody that's hiring? I'm looking for a job. One thing led to the other, and then I got my job. It was not only about gaining skills and everything. Networking is actually really important, but when it comes to actually doing the work, I think many people sleep on their skills. You're waiting till you have a marketing degree before you can now work in marketing, or you're waiting till you have a software engineering degree before you can learn how to code. But that's not how it is. Like, I studied architecture and I currently work in marketing. That's just because I transferred my knowledge and my skill from running a business on Instagram and building a brand on Instagram, a personal brand on Instagram, blogging and writing and sharing stories, to marketing in tech. So I found a niche that would that my skills would be really helpful in, and then I went to that niche. Next question: favorite and least favorite countries so far. Off the top of my head, favorite countries will be between Mauritius and Lebanon, but I would say I'll say Lebanon. Yeah, Lebanon. That was hard because Mauritius was my birthday and I went with my partner. But yeah, I would say Lebanon, hands down, Lebanon. Least favorite country so far has been, I would say, the Gambia. Maybe I didn't spend a lot of time there, and it kind of does feel a lot like Nigeria. It's between Gambia and Ghana. Okay, you should not drag me for saying Ghana, please. I know Ghanaians, people don't joke. I'm sorry, please. I don't want to get on your bad side, but okay, maybe Gambia actually. But yeah, yeah. Favorite country, Lebanon. Least favorite, the Gambia. Do you intend on practicing architecture? And I'm going to stop you right there. Immediately no. But never say never actually, but immediately no. How do you save to travel? How do you budget for it? I know you mentioned you saved in dollars, please. How do you do it? So I earn in foreign currency, so it's easy for me to save in foreign currency. If I earn in naira, bank rates going back and forth, that actually can be hectic, but it's not impossible. Just give us your take on school and what school you attended. So I attended Covenant University, Canaan Land, Ota, Ogun State. I went to that school for both my BSc and MSc, so yeah, whatever. My take on school is that, contrary to popular opinion, when people say, oh, another day of not using dydx or another day of not using simultaneous equations or anything, I actually think it's dumb. Maybe that's a bit too harsh, but like, where do you think you learned critical thinking from? Where do you think you learned how to put two and two together? So you see, for Uche's car, how do you put two and two together? How do you learn how to think about things like that? Exactly, like, it's from math, it's from quantitative skills and all of those things. So those things actually do help, but I think university education should not be a prerequisite for a lot of things. Education is important, right? Go to school, kids. Don't stay in school, please. Stay in school. It's not that I tell you to drop out. Stay in school, finish it, just do whatever you can do, but then actually now when you're done, make conscious effort to augment skills and the things that you learned in school and build the life that you want. Yeah, so that's my take. How do you fund your travels? Okay, I've answered the question a number of times. I work, I get paid, and I travel. I've said it before, I'm saying it again now. Don't think that, oh, that I'm here, you know, I have like disposable income of millions of millions. Hey. That's a lie. How is it going to different places and meeting different people? So if you follow me on Twitter, you would see that I write a lot of stories about this. It's really interesting. It's really something that I like, something I'm passionate about, something that makes me really happy. So yeah, it's going good. How to overcome SAPA? My darling, I'm not the one you should be asking, because I don't know. I know you say audiobooks, but how do you make out time to read with all you do? So yeah, audiobooks. Audiobooks. This video is not sponsored, but I use Audible, and I think you should use audiobooks if you want to read a lot more, consume a lot more content, but you have a very busy life. Next question, please, what skills did you have to develop that helped you in your job today and in content creation? Storytelling, psychology. Studying psychology has actually really helped me. I think I can predict people's reactions to certain videos. I know the kind of videos that will go viral and the ones that will not. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, okay? Because the algorithm will shock you. But I think that the algorithm is also built to respond to human psychology. I don't know, but it's all fixed, it's all, you know, together, interwoven. So studying consumer psychology, human behavior, that actually really helps me, right? and yeah, it now helps me convert that skill of writing to creating videos, writing stories, and selling products. Tips on how you prepared for and landed your job roles. I don't know if you have all day here, but I'll just speak on this as quickly as I can. So my first job, like I already mentioned, I got the job. So I was done, fresh out of school. I wanted to move to Lagos so bad. I hadn't done like anything outside of architecture for the past 6 years, like, you know, in terms of like corporate office work. I had done a lot of social media, I had done a lot of writing, I had done blogging and SEO and, you know, all of that, but I hadn't really worked in that position. So I created content on Instagram for a long time. At the end of the year, I knew I wanted to move to Lagos. My parents were not going to hear that, oh, okay, I'm moving to Lagos and I don't have any work. What am I going to do? I'm going to go and do influencer marketing. Where will you sleep? How is you going to pay your rent? So I wanted to just have an offer letter. I didn't care if I was going to get paid. I was that sure of myself. I just knew that once I got to Lagos, I would figure it out. So one thing led to the other. I applied for a job. I didn't get it at first. But then at the end of the year, the CEO or the HR, I'm not sure which it was, saw my Instagram page and saw one content that I wrote. Later in January, they reached out and said, hey, the role that you applied for, even though you're one of the top 3 finalists, we couldn't take you for that role because we needed someone who was more or less a generalist, working with all the different social media platforms. Since your skill in writing would be really important to our goal for this year, you know, to double down on content marketing, we think there's a spot here for you or for a different role. So that was how I got my job. The office also kind of financed my move to Lagos. They paid for certain things, not fully anyway, but like they supported that. And then I moved to Lagos and then I started creating content. I worked with them for a while. After I left, I put out a post also. It was like, hey, I'm done working here. It was nice. This is what I did. This is what I learned. I got a number of people reaching out to me. I wanted to take the time to just like, you know, do content creation full time. But yeah, you know, I did it for a while. I took up another role from one of the people that reached out to me. Yeah, and in I don't know how many days or less than in a month or so, the company folded for fraud. So I ran away as quickly as possible. But yeah, so one other place that I applied for, or one other place that interviewed me, after they reached out, they were like, oh hey, we know someone who you might be a better fit for, blah 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 blah. One thing led to the other, and then they connected me with the place where I currently work, and then I did an interview, I got in, and I started working. So yeah, that's a quick, I don't know if that was quick, but that's a quick explanation of how I prepared for and landed my job role. I don't know if that helps, but yeah, highly recommend the best locations for beautiful places to go to on a budget. So if you want to go on a budget, depending on what your budget is, you can take a budget trip outside Lagos with $1,000. And when I say $1,000, I'm being generous because you might not spend all of it on the trip, but it's good to have that so that you don't get stranded in the foreign man's land. And yeah, so yeah, I would say if you want to take a budget trip somewhere beautiful, go to South Africa. The problem with South Africa is that it can be a budget trip on its own, but then you need a visa, you need bank statements. So if you don't have money in your accounts, how you apply with the bank statement, how you get the visa. So it can get really tricky, but Rwanda is a really nice place that you can visit. It's relatively on a budget. You can go to Ghana, you can go to Benin Republic. Actually, I think Benin Republic, personally, I don't have any beef with Ghana, but personally, Benin Republic gave me a better experience than Ghana did. And Benin Republic is actually closer, maybe because of how different it is, like the language and everything. So yeah, it kind of feels a lot different from Nigeria as opposed to Ghana. But yeah, I would say Rwanda, South Africa, if you have bank statement for whatever reason, if you can actually do proof of funds. Budget trip. Depends on what your budget is really. You can't go anywhere on a budget. Flights is the issue. If you can get flights, like relatively cheap flights, then yeah, Lebanon is actually somewhere you can also go on a budget. As long as you can book your flights on Ethiopian Airlines. That's where I got the best deal for my flight to Lebanon. So, and then I could pay in Naira too. So yeah, definitely that. What are your thoughts on a trip from Nigeria to Ghana by road? I would say the best way to go about it is, without like really going crazy, is to go and stop over in different countries before you get to Ghana. So stop in Benin Republic, explore Benin Republic for a while, stop in Togo, explore Togo for a while, then get to Ghana. So yeah, it just kind of like eases you of the stress of taking out one straight journey. But yeah, but if you can fly, please fly. I know it's not the reality of everybody to just get on a plane, but if you want to take a road trip, I think that's a way to go about it, so that you don't get the African massage, like they say, all the potholes drilling into your bones. Why have you never visited Cameroon? I actually don't know, because it's really just right here, but I would add it to my bucket list for next year or 2024. Group trip suggestions, please. Jordan, definitely Jordan. Egypt, group trip. Lebanon also. The Middle East is actually a good place to travel to, like in groups. Firstly, because if you travel to Jordan in a group of up to 10, you actually get visa on arrival, versus if you go by yourself. If you're going by yourself, you have to go to the embassy, you actually do the whole visa. If you're going to Egypt as well and you're more than 5 in a group, you also get visa on arrival. If you have a UK, US, Canada, Schengen, I think New Zealand, Australia visa, you can enter Egypt like visa on arrival. But if not, then go in a group. Yeah, Jordan, same thing, group of 10. Definitely do that. Where can one travel to on a budget with no travel history? So no travel history on a budget: Rwanda, do Ghana, do Senegal, do Gambia, do Cote d'Ivoire as well. Mostly West Africa, Rwanda. I'll take Kenya, but the budget bids, the flights to Kenya can be tricky depending on what time of the year you book. You can actually do that. Lebanon is actually also a good place to go if you don't have travel history, you want to travel, but I typically don't advise that you go to Lebanon if you've not traveled before, because the world is just weird now, right? But that might actually affect your chances if tomorrow you want to apply for, say, a US visa or a UK visa. They would start, when they see countries from the Middle East, they start to act like there's hot plantain in their mouth. Anyway, so yeah, just these countries that I mentioned, I think you will find them helpful. Recommended books and courses on storytelling: All Marketers Tell Stories / All Marketers Are Liars by Seth Godin, Purple Cow by Seth Godin, This is Marketing by Seth Godin. This book will teach you how to write. I don't remember who the author is, but I'll leave the book here. If I have any other books, I'll just leave them in the comments. But these, off the top of my head, these books are actually really good. When are you fully launching design? That has paused for now, right now. Sometime next year, maybe second half of next year, I would most likely go live with that. What's the best thing you bought on a trip? Actually, I don't go shopping a lot when I'm traveling. I don't remember. Okay, so I've just remembered now. It's this chess set that I picked up in Egypt for my partner, who is a chess master. I want to know how you met Tunde, because I'm a fan of you both, but it's okay if you don't want to. Interesting. Skip. What's your advice for someone who wants to give up content creation due to lack of views? Give up. Yeah, you should give up. I mean, I like see, if there's no reason, if lack of views is the issue, that's the issue, you're not seeing views, give up now, because there's still a long way ahead that you'll be creating content and you don't see views. Even when you've grown, like you're now big and you now have 1 million subscribers, you still have these issues. It might not be 0 views, but like it will be, yeah, like it might not be giving some days. So just make sure that you're in it for the right reasons and you're here to stay. If you're not here to stay and you think it's just going to be sharp, give up now. Just give up now. Let's know what we're doing. How did you find your footing financially? The footing is yet to be found. See, darling, I can't see it. My sister says I cannot find the footing. It's not there. I see everybody. Don't look at me and think that I have money. I don't have any money. How did you and your partner escape? How are you able to fund your travels? I like to travel a lot, but I don't know if I'll be able to afford it. Yeah, I think I already answered that. This is so nosy, but how did you and Tunde? So you know it's nosy. The godlike girl, you know it's nosy, Abby. Okay, but simple question, because people don't want to let me hear what. Simple answer rather. How did you and Tunde meet? Twitter. We met on Twitter. Full story, maybe some other time. I don't know, but yeah, we went on Twitter. So next question: can a 500k budget be enough? Darling, I am not a miracle worker, darling. Take your 500k, enter bus, go to Cotonou, relax, enjoy yourself, live large, and come back. No do pass yourself. Okay? Can you please host a storytelling masterclass on TPC? TPC, in case you don't know, is the paid creative. It's my Telegram channel where I share content, career, storytelling stuff. Over 2,000 people that are there. So if you want to join, it's free. It's also like a money transparent resource community. So we talk about pricing, charging, what to charge, what not to charge, blah 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 blah. So yeah, feel free to just join in. It's free. There's a link in my description box as well. What are some of the major lows you experienced while switching from lifestyle to travel? I had this period where it seemed like I was confused, and my audience, was also confused because it seemed like, oh, I'll share this today, I'll share that tomorrow. But it's very normal. I don't think it's actually low. Talk less of a major low, but it's just what it is, really. How much do you love me? Love you mucho. I love you this much. How do you like Kenya so far? So Kenya was amazing while I was there, but I don't think I would maybe able to live there for now. I would just leave that. When are you getting my auntie Chidiadi from the village? I can see you and Uncle Long John. Can you leave me alone? Thanks. What do you do for a living? I have a 9 to 5. I work as a product marketing manager at a fintech startup. A tech question though: what's your favorite thing about being a content marketer? My favorite thing about it is that it's something I already like, something I already do. So it comes naturally to me. That's my favorite part of content marketing. Hey, would you like to make new friends here in Nairobi? Unfortunately, I'm not in Nairobi anymore. So yeah, I would have loved to. I would love to. I'm not joking, but like I'm not in Nairobi anymore. So when I'm around, sure. Do you make friends easily? No. This is very weird that this is coming after the first question I looked past because I don't make friends easily. My friends adopt me. I don't remember actually how my friendships have worked. It's usually from school or from church or from somewhere that I know you from. Yeah. Why haven't you done NYSC? Is that you, the federal government? I'm not gonna answer that question. Okay, I'm going to answer it. But why haven't you done NYSC? I actually don't think it's a valuable use of my time. Ever experienced friendship heartbreak? Oh yes, I have. I have experienced friendship heartbreak. Yeah, and it's just one of those things really. So yeah, nothing to ask. Just letting you know that you are sterling. Thank you. Not a question. I really like your videos. It's like coming home. I love the vibe. That's a very specific compliment. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jane. I really appreciate that. Shout out to you. Where did you meet Tunde? Twitter. Have you ever spoiled yourself and paid for a first-class ticket on any of your trips? No, I haven't. I'm not rich. I can't afford to fly first class. I once booked a business class trip, but it got cancelled actually. Anyway, I cancelled the entire trip. So yeah, that didn't happen. Why don't you include a few clips of the plane in your travel vlogs? So I do, but sometimes like I'm not in the mood for free PR, and I just feel like let's just go where I'm going. I don't have energy for this. So yeah, it reflects in the vlogs, but I do sometimes actually, if you look out. How many sources of income do you have and what are they? Hey, FIRS is on my matter this day. So okay, actually, I'm just messing around, but I'll answer it. I'm not sure. I might have to check my Norway's dashboard to see what my where my income comes from. But yeah, sources of income. So let's start. First thing is my job. I have a 9 to 5. I work as product marketing manager for a fintech startup based in Berlin and Nairobi. I've mentioned that before. That's one. Secondly, I am a content creator and influencer. So yeah, I get paid by brands to showcase their products, and I work with brands, attend events, stuff. So yeah, that's that. I don't know if this is different, but I work on retainer for some brands, strictly for those brands to work to share content or create content for them, and I get paid every month for it, a fixed amount of money for that. Yeah, so that's that. But I think it's still kind of working with brands really. Next one, I run a boutique marketing agency called StoryX, where I specifically work with Black-owned and female-owned tech startups in Africa. And yeah, I work with a number of clients, especially in fintech, you know, in other aspects as well, and other business owners really. So yeah, I work with StoryX as the founder. I founded StoryX and I work there. So yeah, that's 4. Fifth one is digital products. So I have courses, I have books. I don't have courses anymore, but I have books that I sell. They're hosted on Seller. I wrote these 3 books to teach you how to start, grow, and earn on social media. So if you're interested, there's also a link in my bio for these 3 ebooks. So yeah, I earn money from them. People just buy them randomly, and yeah, I get money from there. This is what happens when you don't script your videos, so don't be like me. I totally forgot that Good Jeans is now live. Good Jeans is an eco-friendly fashion brand where you can find vintage denim pieces that just fit. Also, I create travel itineraries and, you know, basically travel planning and consulting for people who want to travel. So that's another stream of income that I have. Never heard you talk about spirituality. Please, if you're comfortable, do share on this. I strongly believe in Jesus Christ and his power to save. I believe in the gospel of truth. I believe that Jesus Christ came and died for all of us, and if you believe in him, you have a spot with the Father. Believe in what you want, or don't believe in anything at all, like, you know, whatever. But for me, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I am Christian. If you were asked to start a faceless channel, what would it be? It would be a travel content based channel, but with B-rolls and voiceovers. Yeah, that would be what I would start if I wanted to do a faceless YouTube channel. Apart from money, what's the first thing you consider? That money you just upload. That's the issue. That money I'm just messing around. So apart from money, what's the first thing you consider for starting solo travel? Money is not really the issue. It can be a factor. If you have money and you can travel solo, please do. But if you don't have money and you want to travel with your friends and everything, yeah. But one thing that you consider is safety and how friendly the place that you're visiting is to solo travelers. Is it true that Nigerian immigration officers harass solo travelers, especially ones with no travel history? Immigration officers everywhere in the world are, you know, a bunch of, especially in Nigeria, and if you're going to certain countries. When I was going to Lebanon, I was accosted at the airport and I went through intense questioning because why is a woman traveling to Lebanon alone? Who are you going to see? Who are you going to meet? What are you going to do there? Because apparently Lebanon was one of the countries on their red list for child trafficking, prostitution, drugs, and some other things. Actually, once you just say you're going to the Middle East, and it's not the UAE you're going to, they're going to be giving you bad eye and they're going to question you. So for me, I think what actually helped me was that I had travel history, and I'm like, oh hey, I'm a travel content creator. I showed them my Instagram and this is what I do, right? I just travel, and then the man was asking me, oh okay, you can go, come and teach me. Nonsense. Down to the last 6 questions. Are you single and ready to mingle? No, I am not single and ready to mingle, whatever that means. Kindly recommend African countries someone on a budget card with no travel history. I think we've talked about that. What's your favorite city so far? So for me, it would be Jazin in Lebanon. Absolutely love it. Or Belmar in Mauritius. So yeah, also Dakar in Senegal is actually a really good one. I actually liked my stay in Dakar. What would you say to the Alma of 5 years back? The Alma of 5 years back is one that's supposed to be saying things to me, because what I've seen, she can never believe it. She can't see. She's supposed to be patting me on the back now, so nobody even asked me anything like that now. She's supposed to be patting me on the back because I've been through it. But the Alma of 5 years back took a lot more risks. She was more willing to bet her life on anything and just go for it. Right now, a number of things are holding me back. I'm considering, oh, what if this, what if that. I've entered so many entanglements now that I have a lot of things to consider. But the Alma of 5 years ago, how old was I then? 19. I don't don't know, out of school, clueless. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, see how far you've come. You did it. If there's only one ingredient for success, what would it be? Conviction. Conviction, because there is conviction so strong. It's not even passion. Like, oh, I'm passionate about this. Okay, sometimes like when you know that this thing, it has to work, or this thing is possible, or this thing works, the energy that you put into it definitely like would yield success. With conviction, you're able to be consistent because you're more incentivized. You feel like this thing is definitely going to work. This is definitely where it's at. I will stop at nothing to achieve it. That's the mindset that you have generally towards things that you're fully convinced of. So conviction is the one success ingredient I would say, yeah, exists, and that's the one I'm most familiar with. Final question, and the most important question of this Q&A session by one and only Oninechi Anozie, your fave: yellow Gary or white Gary? If you have a different answer from what I'm about to give now, kindly unsubscribe from this channel, block me. I don't want to even know that. No, that's bad vibes. If you have a different answer from what I'm about to give now, yellow Gary is forever. White Gary is for soaking with groundnut and sugar and milk. If you have any different opinion, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, talk to the hands. I don't want to hear it. And that's it for this first Q&A session. I have gone on and on and on. I feel like this video could be up to an hour. I don't know how long it is, but I'm really excited that I got to do this. I would like to do this next time with someone else, probably my partner or my friend. If you have any questions that you want us to answer, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And please subscribe to this channel. I talk about travel, lifestyle, self-development, career sometimes, but mostly travel. I share mostly travel vlogs, travel tips, travel recommendations, blah blah blah. And yeah, so yeah, feel free to subscribe. Please subscribe, please. I've tried. Gosh, you people don't even pity somebody. Bye. See you in my next video. If you like my hair, I got it from Esther Hair on Instagram. It's the first bob wig that I'm actually getting that is really bobbing, like it's giving. So feel free to check for her link in the description. And yeah, if you want something like this, go and buy your own. Bye.